There is one concept, lovely, beautiful concept. So, planet, let's take planet into, let's make a circle. Here the planet is at exaltation, okay? Highest point. The path of the planet is not circular, it is oval. So in the orbit of the planet, whatever is maximum distance from sun, that is exaltation point. And opposite to that is debilitation point, right? This is called perigee apogee. Right? Planet behind sun is close to sun, that planet is combust, opposite to sun is retrograde, that is powerful. But this is with respect to Earth. Right? Behind Earth, the planet is, like this is Earth, this is sun, and planet is here. So seen from the sun, seen from the Earth, sun covers the planet. This is what is combustion. This is bad. Opposite, if the planet comes out here, so sun is in another direction, planet is in another direction, this is retrogression, this is powerful, this is weak. This is Earth perspective, this is your perspective. That's why retrogression and combustion of the planet is very personal. That's why I say retrogression is mistake, combustion is humiliation. But humiliation and mistakes, if you see, this is your opinion है, इसने मुझे humiliate कर दिया, बेइज्जत कर दिया, आप ऐसा सोच रहे हो. For the third person, for others, they can have a different approach on it, right? If you say, oh, how he said, तुम्हारा क्या औकात है, क्योंकि आपको कह दिया ना, बिकॉज ही पर्टिकुलरली टोल्ड टू यू तुम्हारा क्या औकात है, आपको हर्ट हो गया. कोई थर्ड पर्सन इस सेकंड पर्सन इससे हर्ट नहीं हर्ट होगा, राइट? You are getting hurt, other person is wanting to make you hurt, a third person who listens to it will not get hurt at all, right? Are you understanding? This is very personal. This is Earth perspective, right? This is what is topocentric, geocentric, sorry. When you see the same thing from this retrogression and combustion, let's understand one point, right? Advanced astronomy for astrologers I will have to do, I believe, someday, because astronomy for astrologers, astronomy and mathematical astrology for astrologers I have done. Someone steal the name. नाम क्यों चुराते रहते हैं बेचारे. बहरहाल, this is very personal, right? This is geocentric view, personal view, and you are Earth. It's personal view. But this exaltation, debilitation, because the path of the planet is elliptical, the point which is at maximum distance from sun is exaltation, minimum distance from sun, opposite to it is debilitation. This is heliocentric view, right? Sun is at the center. This is center from the sun's point of view, right? This is heliocentric. And what is heliocentric is what is actually happening. So if someone beats you, someone beats you. You get hurt, but other also feel that it is bad to hurt. It is bad to hurt someone, right? So this is heliocentric. This is truth-based. This is geocentric. This is personal opinion based, right? We understand it. Regarding what is truth, actually nothing is truth. Right? आत्मा किसको मारती है? किसी को नहीं. But that's another point. In this exaltation and debilitation, somewhere in between will be own Rashi of planet. Alright? Where is this own Rashi of planet? This is very important. Before I come back to it, right? A major technique is some other technique, but for Sun and Saturn, you see a pattern. From their Mula Trikona Rashi, their exaltation is 5-9. 5-9 exaltation, 3-11 debilitation. This is what happens from their Mula Trikona Rashi. Sun, Saturn. From Moon, the exaltation Rashi is 3-11. The debilitation Rashi is 5-9. You see connection between Sun, Saturn and Moon. Saturn transits a Rashi in 2.5 years. Moon will transit a Rashi in 2.5 days. Sun, Saturn are father and son. You know the connection. But how this connection is being made? You see, I'm just trying to show you a few things, right? So we can go deeper into it. This is what we apparently do in Tantra Jyotish, but somehow advanced Panchang, etc. will do. Mars, Mula Trikona Rashi, right? Let's only take Mula Trikona Rashi as the center. For Moon, Mula Trikona Rashi is also Taurus, right? But for only Moon, I have taken own Rashi. For other planets, I will not take, right? And for Mercury, I will also take another Rashi, Gemini, right? Because they are exalted in Mula Trigona in the same Rashi. Other planets are not exalted in Mula Trigona in the same Rashi. They're exalted in some other Rashi, Mula Trigona in some other Rashi. Generally, Mula Trigona in their own Rashi, exalted in other Rashis, right? So that's why. For Mars, Mula Trigona is Aries, and exaltation, debilitation is 410 to it, right? Fourth from Aries, it is debilitated. 10th from Aries, it is exalted. 410, right? For Mercury, it is also 410 from this Gemini. So Mars Mercury also share a very deeper connection. Both of them indicate same type of disease. Mars will be bad, it will indicate boil pimple. Mercury will be bad, it will indicate skin disease. Again, boil pimple. Right. So Mars and Mercury are very, very similar. Mercury is Vishnu and Mars is considered, the son of Sri Vishnu. It can be considered. Sri Vishnu and Earth goddess produce Mars. So Mars and Mercury also have a very strong, deeper connection with each other. A very strange type of connection it is. But the Sun Saturn enmity is defamed because of some, like Sun Saturn enmity is not that bad as Mars Mercury enmity is. Very problematic enmity it is. Right. Jupiter from his Mulatrikona Rashi Sagittarius, Jupiter is very strange planet. Jupiter is considered very beneficial. Jupiter is considered very good, giving result. It is not that good. Because from his Mulatrikona Rashi, he is exalted in 6-8. And he is debilitated in 212. You see speciality with Jupiter and Sun and Moon. Moon is exalted in 311, debilitated in 5-9. Sun Saturn is exalted in 5-9, debilitated in 311. For Jupiter, exaltation is in 6-8, debilitation is in 212. But for Mars Mercury, because it is a 410 setup, either ways you count it, it is always 410. So at other places, it is a combination of two combinations, right? 4 Rashis are there. Here only 2 Rashis are there. This is specialty with Mars Mercury. With Jupiter, it is exalted in 6-8, debilitated in 212. It is an indicative whether the Jupiter is exalted or the Jupiter is debilitated. In both the cases, it denies something. Maybe this is the reason Sthana Hani Karo Jiva, though the statement is not entirely true. But you see, Jupiter is 6-8 from his Mulatrikona Rashi, so an exalted Jupiter will be in 8th house from Sagittarius. It will not support Sagittarius. An exalted Jupiter is very bad for Sagittarius. It only supports Pisces. A debilitated Jupiter in the same manner only supports Pisces, does not support Sagittarius. So whether Jupiter is exalted or Jupiter is debilitated does not matter. Sagittarius it does not support. That's why for Sagittarius people, exalted Jupiter, Sagittarius ascendant, pathetic life. Lagna Lord exalted, very bad situation. Because it will be exalted in bad houses from his own place, right? Planet will go bad houses from, see, 3, 6, 8, 12 houses, particularly 6, 8, 12 houses are non-support houses, right? Planet cannot support. Right. And when the planet is not able to support his own Rashi, it is very bad for Jupiter. But you see, Venus is Asurguru, Jupiter is Surguru because of some reason. The same trait is with Venus also. From Libra, Pisces is 6-8. And from Libra, Virgo is 212. Same scenario. Surguru, Asurguru, they're friends because of they have the same tendency because of some reason. This is the reason. So let's understand one point. There is equal balance in Mars Mercury, a 410 setup, equal balance. Right? Jupiter and Venus, when they are in their own Rashis, they are closer to debilitation and farther away to exaltation. And exaltation is a longer path, debilitation is a quicker path. With Sun Saturn also, they are also closer to debilitation. And Moon is only planet which is closer to exaltation. That's why Moon is so special. Because Moon is the only planet who is closer to exaltation. Other planets in their own Rashi are very far away from exaltation. Right? Only Mercury, Mars are in between. Understand the point? There's something. It will come. So this is one particular concept, right? Very beautiful concept. Ucchabhilashi, Neechabhilashi. We have learned about it, right? Abhilashi, Abhilashi is desirous one. So Ucchabhilashi, desirous of being exalted, and Neechabhilashi is desirous of getting debilitated. Okay. Desirous of getting debilitated as in the planet is desiring to get debilitated, something like that ना. अब तो आज समय बुरा हो गया है, ऐसा हो गया planet के साथ. So in dasha I use it. Let's understand when the planet will be Ucchabhilashi, Neechabhilashi, main, non-main. So let's divide it. So complete zodiac can be divided into two categories. There is an exaltation for Mars, 28-degree Capricorn. When Mars is exalted, when it is exactly at 28-degree Capricorn, that is between 27.01 to 27.59. Mars is completely exalted. And 28-degree Cancer, Mars is completely debilitated. Once it crosses the debilitation, it starts becoming Ucchabhilashi. Right, and at 26-degree Capricorn, it is completely Ucchabhilashi. 28-degree it becomes exalted, and after 28-degree and 29th-degree it becomes Neechabhilashi, and 27-degree Cancer it is full Neechabhilashi. So the zodiac can be divided into two halves, right? But let's make this definition more easy, right? Let's make it mathematically not so precise, right? Because a lot of precision is very problematic. So let's take it as Mars is exalted in Capricorn, debilitated in Cancer, and Ucchabhilashi it is in Sagittarius, and Neechabhilashi it is in Gemini. Okay. So this first setup, after debilitation planet is Ucchabhilashi, after exaltation planet is Neechabhilashi. This I use in Dasha. A planet who is Ucchabhilashi, Uch means up, Neech means down, or Uch means high, Neech means low. So in the Dasha of an Ucchabhilashi planet, person progresses day by day. In the Dasha of a Neechabhilashi planet, person is going downwards day by day, financially, socially, mentally, physically, whatever be the way. That depends on the planet. Right? But the path of progress. So if the planet is making Dhani Yoga, it will still give you wealth. But in other areas, it will be either Ucchabhilashi or Neechabhilashi. This principle is very important in prediction. These are some of the principles which I use a lot, never tell anyone. मौका नहीं मिलता है वैसे. Sometimes I get the mauka. Today is the mauka. I'm telling you the mauka. Okay. So whenever doing, madam.
One question. Let's say Mars is at 29-degree in Cancer.
ठीक है.
It has caused the deep debilation point. Now it is on the path of Ucchabhilashi, but the path is very long.
Long.
We'll say, right?
जी.
Maybe if it is like 18, whatever is a dasha, maybe last 2-3 months only you'll be able to
Absolutely,
enjoy.
absolutely. Last 2-3 months, great results will be there. Initially, the results are not that good. But the path is a progressive path. है ना? Progress, slow, slow, little, little, but progress. Right? This is for dasha purpose. For prediction purpose, I will divide the planet into three categories. Exalted planet, very good. Mulutrikona planet, another good condition. Own Rashi planet, another good condition. Equal to own Rashi is Vargottam planet, that is good condition. Apart from that, planet is going into own Navamsha. This is equal to being into own Rashi, exaltation Navamsha. It is equal to being into exaltation. But own Navamsha is equal to being into own Rashi only when the planet is not debilitated otherwise in D1. Otherwise, it have to be decided accordingly. See, planet is in a normal Rashi. You will understand what is a normal Rashi. Planet in friendly Rashi, inimical Rashi, etc. is there, but Navamsha, it goes into own Navamsha. You say it is giving result like being in own Rashi. Because nothing specific condition he is gaining in D1. If the planet is combust, etc., then the planet is useless. Even in own Navamsha, it is of no use. One point. If the planet is exalted in D1 but only own Navamsha in D9, then there it is exalted, here it is own Rashi, culminatively the result is very, very good. But D1 it is debilitated, D9 it is in own Rashi, from debilitation it becomes weak. So own Navamsh result, whatever the planet is having, that result is very feeble. Because strength is basically decided from D1 and that strength is gone. So always remember D1 for strength, and strength decides a lot of things, right? Because money you will gain, if you gain 100 rupees, you do not consider it as a gain. You gain 100 crore rupees, you consider it as gain. This is where strength plays. This comes from D1. D9 is about result, but once again, right, result depends on strength. Right? So it works hand in hand this way, but D1 is strength, D9 is result. So if the result is bad in D9, right, but D1 the planet is powerful, it becomes a little bit problematic because strong bad result it is giving, but otherwise it is not. Planet is bad in D9, weak in D1, bad result it is going to give, and it is also weak, so not much concern for us. ठीक है ना, दे दे बुरा फल हम क्या करें. So one point. After this, right, exaltation, Mool Trikon, own Rashi, own Navamsh, after this comes a neutral condition. See, bad is a debilitated planet is bad. Combust planet is bad. Planet going into a planetary war is bad. But combustion and planetary war are astronomical phenomena, right? This can happen anytime. This is an exception to it. Rarer principle is an exception, right? So planetary war or combustion is happening. Planets become bad at any place. But then once again, you see, it's not hard and fast. Okay. It's like, see, person is having 100 rupees, $100, they lose $100, they become poor. This is what happens with a normal planet in combustion planetary war. But person have $500, they lose $300. So they are not poor, right? They still have something. So regarding combustion and planetary war, if the planet is otherwise good, exalted, Multrikon, Vargottam, etc., then the loss is not that great. Right? Combust planet is bad, planetary war planet is bad. This all of these things are told with respect to a standard condition. That standard considered is normal Rashi. Right? If the Rashi is good and apart from that these things is happening, you just cannot compare a person having a planet in friendly Rashi being combust and a planet in exaltation Rashi being combust. Exaltation Rashi, he still gets some strength because he's exalted also. Right? So accordingly, right? Accordingly, we have to judge. After this, debility in between, you get friendly Rashi, inimical Rashi. But in this friendly Rashi and inimical Rashi, who are friends and enemies is a question of discussion. Sun, Moon, Mars, Jupiter are friends to each other, and they are opposite to the group of Mercury, Venus, Saturn, is what you understand. Go by this way. Just keep in mind that because Venus is debilitated in the Rashi of Mercury, Venus does not do good either in Gemini also because it is bad. And because Jupiter is particularly debilitated where Mars is exalted and Mars is debilitated where Jupiter is exalted, the situation for Mars going into the Rashi, Jupiter going into the Rashis of Mars is not very good. Mars going into the Rashis of Jupiter is okay, okay. Not that great either. But this particular setup of Mercury, Venus, Saturn being friends with each other and inimical with group number one, that is of Sun, Moon, Mars, and Jupiter, is the standard formula that you should apply for friendly Rashi, inimical Rashi. Now, planet in friendly Rashi and inimical Rashi should be considered as a neutral planet, planet in the neutral situation. And in this neutral situation is where the actual result comes in. If a planet is in a friendly Rashi, while going towards exaltation, what you call Ucchabhilashi, then it is a good situation as compared to planet being in a friendly Rashi but going towards debilitation. This we have to keep in mind. So though I am taking the planet to be in friendly Rashi as being a normal planet, it is giving good result only, but result, only little bit better, not exceedingly better. But planet is going towards exaltation or going towards debilitation is the major point. So while making the prediction, we have to, we have to keep this factor into consideration. A planet going towards exaltation is a planet in better situation, particularly only when it is just one house before exaltation. So you say sun into Pisces, moon into Aries, Mars into Sagittarius, Mercury into Leo, Jupiter in Gemini, Venus in Aquarius, and Saturn in Virgo are actually good planets because they are just before exaltation. On the other hand, Sun in Virgo, Moon in Libra, Mars in Gemini, Mercury in Aquarius, Jupiter in Sagittarius. Jupiter Sagittarius is an exception because Sagittarius is own Rashi for Jupiter, right? Venus into Leo and Saturn into Pisces is just before debilitation, and here the planet is very pain producing. The planet just before exaltation and just before debilitation is a very strong condition, and planet just before exaltation gives good result, and planet just before debilitation gives bad result. But we have to keep this particular thing in mind, that the result does not come from the beginning. As in exaltation, etc., the result is right from the beginning, but just before exaltation and just before debilitation, the result is not right from the beginning, but it comes with age, it comes with time, right? So when a planet is not exalted, combust, debilitated, own Rashi, Mool Trikon, Vargottam, etc., and we have to judge the result of the house owned by the planet and other significations, etc., ruled by the planet, we should strongly use the principles of planet is going towards exaltation or debilitation, and accordingly result should be told. If the planet is going towards exaltation, the result is good. Going towards debilitation, the result is bad. In analysis, it should be used. Right. So fourth lord going towards exaltation also strongly indicates that person will have a lot of properties, etc., in this life. This is one thing. But because we are doing Bhrigu Karma Vipak, karmically, what is karmic analysis for this? You see, the word Uch and Neech is once again a very complex word. Uch means up, high, rising. Neech means down, low, etc. Right? So Uch is up and Neech is down. Own Rashi, Mulutrikon also for that matter, is safe, true to the nature, karmically, in his home ground, his own Rashi. So karmically, an exalted planet, Uch Graha, is an excited planet. High rising, high morals, etc., whatever you say. Exalted planet takes the native towards greatness, etc., etc. So let's understand it. Neech also indicates low karma, right? Lowly karma. Neech native is someone who is engaged into lowly karmas, bad karma, etc. Yes. So an exalted planet is exalted because native have done good karma related to the planet in previous life. As a result of that, the planet is good, the planet is powerful, the planet is exalted. In this life, in the karma related to the planet, native will get good level of opportunities, little bit of forgiveness will also be there. Generally, people suffer initially in result of such planets. For example, if Venus is exalted initially, you will see person suffers in the matters of marriage, etc. Right? Because great karmas have been done related to the planet in previous life, and in this life, only little bit of past few karmas are left. And when these past few karmas, remaining few karmas, the native goes through it. Sometimes very great sufferings come, right? But is if one is able to go through it, it is good. It leads to greatness. Because exalted planet leads to greatness, sometimes discomfort related to exalted planet you will see initially in life only, but it is leading towards perfection, it is leading towards greatness, right? Regarding debilitated planet, the planet is hell bent on making you do lowly karmas related to planet. Here you have to be very careful. Any planet who is in debilitation, who is very close to debilitation, is, will be luring you into bad karmas. And if the person takes the wrong turn, and my complete this theory, the thing that I am teaching you is completely inspired by the movie The Wrong Turn. Okay. Sometimes in life, what happens, people do something after which there is no turning back. I was recently explaining to someone in some class, apparently, also, we discussed about it. Somewhere also, I discussed about it. See, abortion is a very bad karma. Once you do the abortion, there is no escape. But is abortion only bad karma? There are many other bad karmas for people also. Debilitated planet is the point. He wants to take you to nichta, right? He wants to make you niche person. He wants to take you lowly person. He wants to make you go into lowly karma. So any planet which is debilitated in Rashi and Navamsha, right? To do lowly karmas related to that planet is very easy. When you have a debilitated Venus in Rashi and Navamsha, right? To cheat your spouse, to have extramarital affair is very easy. Because the planet wants you to make niche, and once you engage with it, then the affair that's gone. Once the planet takes you in his trap, it takes you in the trap. Whereas for an exalted planet, that planet wants to make you high. It will give you suffering. But you will have to understand the level of greatness. So with exalted Venus, what happens? Attachment you know, forgiveness you don't know. So you will be attached to the spouse, and spouse will be hurting you a lot. Because the divine love you have to understand. So the problem with exalted planet is he makes everything divine. And we are humans, we just cannot digest the divine. So that's the problem. You see, exalted Venus never gives good marital life to people. Because he wants to teach you, now you left someone, set them free. This is the you cannot do. No? Set them free, you cannot do. This is what gives the problem. That's why people struggle with respect to exalted planet. But this is why people struggle, right? And what type of struggle they have, right? Divinity, infusion of divinity is needed in the relationship. That's why a good matchmaking is very important, right? For a good Venus person, good matchmaking is very important. Because you love the person and the other person to love you back, good matchmaking should be there. Otherwise, you will love the other person and you will have to learn forgiveness also, because bad matchmaking, they will not love you back. Right. So with an exalted planet, also with an exalted planet, if you are suffering some bad karmas you are doing, otherwise there should be no suffering. That is one thing. But one thing is there. Once the planet is exalted for the native, exalted Venus person, you will never see them doing debauchery, etc. There is some reason they have an exalted Venus. They will not cheat. They will not do bad things, those who have a good Venus in a good situation. Because the planet is an element, right? There is no desire. With an exalted planet, you are desireless, particularly with related to the planet, right? Person have no, with a good Venus person have no desire of cheating or infidelity or anything as such. Though they still suffer in marriage, but the suffering is only to make them more perfect. And only when the person, have this perfection in their life, then you see great favors come to them. Right? For example, say sun is exalted. So in this particular situation, the native can be humiliated. If they take humiliation positively, if they become more humble, then you see greatness will come. But if they do not take humiliation seriously, if they want to fight back, then it is not going to reward you, क्योंकि बोलते हैं, उच्च हो, आप नीच हो रहे हो। झगड़ा करने से कैसे उच्च रहोगे, आप उच्च नहीं हो पाओगे ना। So someone wants to fight with you and you engage in fighting, you are not an exalted soul now. You become exalted soul only then you get the good result. Right? So exalted planets always improve with time, right? So some people will say that debilitated planets works good in Kali Yuga. If you think with a debilitated Venus doing debauchery is good, very good. It is good in Kali Yuga and you are an avatar of Kali Yuga, my friend. Then it is okay. That's not our target. अगर कोई ये कहे कि कलयुग में तो भले लोग है नहीं, चोरी करके खाओ, तो फिर जिसको सुटेबल लगती है चोरी करके खाओ, वो दोनों असुर योनि के लोग साथ में रहते हैं, सुखी रहते हैं, बट हम तो ऐसा नहीं कर सकते ना भाई। अंडरस्टैंड दिस पॉइंट। Own Rashi planet is the planet in element. This is a planet you have to be very careful about, because planet in element, see, it's not an exalted planet who guarantees good karmas. See, exalted planet as in everything that needs to be experienced related to the planet was experienced in the previous life. And in this life, the memory is very fresh and pure. Now, in this life, if you do not do that exaltation aspect that I was discussing about, the planet will go debilitated again, right? That's not an issue. You can forget the experience. That can happen, right? So spirituality, what is happening? See, you do meditation, you get a spiritual experience. Now, you do meditation every day, you get the experience every day. You remain clinged to it. That is there, but you can choose other way also. You can get the experience. You stop doing meditation, you will forget the experience. This is what Indriyas do. You have to make sure you do not forget the experience, right? So that's why exalted planet person, if they do a bad thing related to the planet, it is going to be very bad. Then this planet will become debilitated from the next life onwards, and then you cannot help it, right? Because once after getting the experience, if you go on the bad path, then there is no forgiveness. Without experience, you are on the bad path, God will come to save you. But after getting the experience, you still go on the bad path, God is not going to save you now. That's why you will see in the karma section, normal person do infidelity, very little bad results are there. Sannyasis will do infidelity, then there is great curse. Because you are a sannyasi, it was not expected out of you. Normal people can do it, is all okay, they were not at the place. But planet in own element, it depends on the planet is benefic or malefic. Because malefic planet in his own element is more inclined towards doing more maleficence. And there you have to control the planet. For example, Saturn in own Rashi can make the person full lazy, because he's in own element, right? And he indicates laziness. At that point of time, you have to understand what are the good significations of the planet and what are the bad significations. This is why Dharma, Shastra, Niti is there. Niti is code of conduct. This is why Dharma, Shastra, and Niti is there, because Dharma will tell you, Krishna will tell you in Bhagavad Gita that laziness is a tamasic tendency. Don't become lazy. Otherwise, Saturn indicates laziness. If Saturn is your Lagna Lord, should you become lazy? Shastras will tell you that laziness is not good, so that you should not become. Saturn also indicates tolerance. If Saturn is in own Rashi, to improve it, you should become tolerant, because being tolerant is a good karma. Being lazy is not. This identification comes from Niti Shastras, and you have to follow what is good as per the Niti related to the planet, which is an own Rashi. Regarding others, the planet just before the exaltation Rashi and the planet just before the debilitation Rashi, my particular observation there is, say someone is having a Mercury in Leo just before exaltation. This Mercury is Lord of third house and sixth house. Now this person will be born in a humble background, will not get good education, etc. initially. But later on, he will become very intelligent through his own learnings. Because the planet is near exaltation Rashi, it's not exalted, near exaltation Rashi. So as time passes by, after the age of 45, 50, person will start learning on his own and will become very intelligent. Mercury indicates intelligence. With respect to third house, that indicates risk. Initially, person will have nothing, so he can risk nothing. But later on, you will see in life that they gain a lot of things and they risk it and they gain more from it. This will be a person, because it is sixth lord, this will be a person who will be born with bad health, will suffer bad health throughout his young age. In old age, they will take on to some good regime and eventually become very healthy in old age. So a planet which is Ucchabhilashi, initial part of the life, you see there is struggle related to planet. In the middle phases of life, things become good, and in old phases of life, great enjoyment related to the planet is there. And the reverse is true for Neechabhilashi planet. मेरे बच्चों को तो पता ही है ना रिवर्स ट्रू का क्या मतलब है, आपको तो नहीं समझाना पड़ेगा घंटा भर बैठ के रिवर्स में क्या होगा जी, इधर में क्या होगा जी, इतना तो है ना, बुद्धि समझदार है हम लोग, राइट। दिस इज पर्टिकुलरली विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू Ucchabhilashi Neechabhilashi planet, whichever house it owns and whatever things he signifies, there's a lot of karma related to this, right? Ucchabhilashi Neechabhilashi rashis I have written, those that you can calculate yourself also, but it's Ucchabhilashi Neechabhilashi planet is a great karma indicator. See, you say Ramakrishna Paramahansa's horoscope, Jupiter is Ucchabhilashi just before exaltation, right? So there's a lot of karma related to Jupiter. Spirituality is what he did. Because let's understand one point. Exalted planet, you have got all the good results. Debilitated planet, you have done the worst to worst results. But Ucchabhilashi planet is the planet where in this life you have the scope. If you use this life properly, you can get perfection related to the planet. Here is the scope of perfection. Here is your free will. So Ucchabhilashi planet is very important because this is work for you in this life, right? So for him, the work is Jupiter because it is Ucchabhilashi. Sun indicates soul. You see, sun is also Ucchabhilashi. Moon indicates soul. Moon is also Ucchabhilashi. 4 Rashis, Ucchabhilashi. So total 6 Rashis are Ucchabhilashi, right? So after Moon have crossed Scorpio, it becomes Ucchabhilashi, right? But from Aquarius, it starts being actual Ucchabhilashi because Uच्च Rashi is now only 4 houses behind is Neech Rashi, 4 houses after is Uccha Rashi, actual Ucchabhilashi. And just before the Rashi is pure Ucchabhilashi now. As soon as Jupiter enters into Cancer, he will become Ucch. Right now, he's Ucchabhilashi. And because Cancer, 5 degrees the maximum exaltation for Jupiter, after the 5 degrees of Gemini, he's in the 30 degree span. And in the last 5 degrees, he will become full exalted. So this Ucchabhilashi planet is very important because this is the work that you can do in this life. Because many a times what happens, people when they know about spirituality, etc., they are like, oh sir, we know spirituality, we want to do spirituality, we want to get emancipation, etc., etc. But can you get it? You can only work in those areas. Actual improvement can only come in those areas indicated by the planet who are Ucchabhilashis. The more Ucchabhilashi a planet is, more closer to exaltation the planet is. In the area of the planet, you can actually work hard, and if you work with 100% dedication, devotion, then great improvement will come. Right? This is the work that you can do. Free will in this life. Regarding Mercury, Mercury is Neechabhilashi. Ramakrishna Paramahansa clearly told, I do not want to get the education which brings me food. I want to get the education which brings me emancipation. This is very true because Mercury is Neechabhilashi. A lot of engagement with Mercury. I'm not saying people should not learn. They should. But a lot of interaction with Mercury, a lot of interaction of logic, etc., can be very problematic. The theme in the life of Ramakrishna Paramahansa is that he had no logic. This is the theme in the life of Raman Maharshi also. Logic they are not having, right? Raman Maharshi reads Periya Puranam, and in the Periya Puranam, he is learning that, okay, this person have gone to this Arunachalam hill and they have realized God. He also goes to Arunachalam hill. मुझे कोई कह देगा तो मैं पहले किताब में पलट के देखूंगा फिक्शन कैटेगरी की किताब तो नहीं है, फिक्शन कैटेगरी की किताब में फिक्शन कैटेगरी है तो छोड़ो, चलो हटा दें, राइट सर? A lot of logic, lot of deliberation, right? Because Mercury is close to Neechabhilashi, right? Lot of education and getting a lot into education and making the mind a lot of logical can lead to bad karmas for him. He clearly avoids it. It is for him. I'm not saying that everyone having Mercury in Aquarius should not learn. Certainly they should. But a lot of logic and a lot of logical thinking can be problematic also, right? This is soul's perspective, right? I'm not talking about worldly being successful. See, the same thing is also happening in horoscope of Einstein also. Einstein was having problems related to studying, right? Some mental problems he was having. But I'm not saying that being intellectual became problematic for him. That's not the point. But it is the same intellectual thought of his which approved all of the affairs that he had. And so no matter how great scientist it is, But with respect to the karmas that he have done, and I'm not talking about nuclear things and other things that he thinks he have done bad, I'm talking about the infidelity that he have done a lot, right? This is because of Mercury, right? Because then Mercury makes you very, Mercury gives you a lot of logic. Mercury's like, okay, if I am not happy with my wife, I should cheat also. This is nothing, that is nothing. There's a lot of logic is problematic. He have Mercury debilitated. Ramakrishna Paramahansa is having Mercury Neechabhilashi, but he's a great spiritually successful person, right? He knows what to avoid, what not to avoid, and we also should understand what to avoid, what not to avoid. So regarding Neechabhilashi planet, inhabiting the bad tendencies of the planet should be avoided. Ucchabhilashi planet, in the area of the planet, there is a lot of scope, right? So work related to the planet will give a lot of improvement. Planet in own Rashi is in its own element. Regarding this planet, take the good qualities and ignore the bad qualities. Even if you take the bad qualities, it is not going to do you a lot of harm, but significantly it will slow down your progress. Exalted planet wants to make you divine. The divinity you have, it is good. Divinity, if you don't have it, is going to be very problematic. So Ramakrishna Paramahansa is having an exalted Venus. He was having divinity. His marital life was very good. Otherwise, exalted Venus, and if they do not have, if they do not have divine approach in relationship, then initial relationships are problematic. Later on, certainly relationships improve, right? But improvement comes with time. Exalted Mars, he was not angry at all, right? See, he had complete control over his anger, right? Whatever anger he was showing, he was only apparently outwardly showing it, right? So exalted planet indicates that greatness related to the planet have been achieved in previous life, and now only retention is needed. And if divine qualities related to the planet can be imbibed, then there is nothing better than that. Doing so, great karmic improvement happens in life, because it's not about asking whether I will get emancipation or not. What if I say you will not get emancipation for next 20 lives? क्या करोगे आप? फिर बुरा काम करना कर लग जाओगे क्या? Is it an option that you should do bad karmas? It's not an option, right? So there should be no question, will I get emancipation or not? There should be a firm belief in my mind that I will get emancipation, and I should work in the same lines to get emancipation, whether there is a combination or not, right? So it's not about, I have seen no mother coming to me for consultation asking me, sir, can my child learn in school? You want your child to be educated, you send him to school, good teacher is there, they will teach. Is there a problem in this? In profession, etc., that one should choose, there should be consultation. Which profession is good, which profession is suitable to the native, that is there. But for basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, have anyone consulted you? Can my child learn addition, multiplication? Everyone can learn it, right? There is a particular level of intelligence, functional intelligence, that everyone can have, right? There are still combinations which does indicate in horoscope that person is completely illiterate. Combinations are there, but then people are born in same families, right? As I initially told you, the body chooses the family, society, and everything as per the karmas they have to go through, right? But horoscopically, right, basic knowledge, if the soul have chosen a body and a society and a parent which can give them education, basic education, or whatever level of education, right, it have been chosen because of some reason or the other that can be seen in the horoscope, right? But because the soul have chosen such a body, such nonsensical questions should not come at the first place, right? And to make sure that we make the maximum uses of this spiritual opportunity that we have got, right, this analysis is very important. Because spirituality wise, Indian spirituality wise, if you ask the question, what is the purpose of human birth, there is only one answer: self realization. Because all other things you can do as a dog also, or any other animal for that matter. It is only self realization, it is only emancipation. To have that, you have to become a human. Very unfortunate with animals. Prejudiced view with respect to animals, can they not get emancipation? But apparently, the majority opinion is that animals cannot get emancipation, right? Some exceptions you can argue, गजेंद्र मोक्ष में उसको गज गज को मोक्ष मिला कि नहीं मिला, That's another point, right? That is to highlight the anugraha of Sri Narayan and not about the elephant getting emancipation, right? So that's one thing. Madam.
Sir, one question here.
See.
The Jupiter is retro. Then why we are saying it is Ucchabhilashi? It should not. Why it is not
नहीं देखिए मैडम,
trending towards
वो
retro?
रेट्रोग्रेड होकर के पूरा जोडियक तो पार नहीं कर सकता ना प्लेनेट। वो तो इवेंचुअली तो वो उच्चाभिलाषी है, वो तो अभी रेट्रोग्रेड है, अभी चला जाएगा रेट्रोग्रेशन, उसमें क्या।
Okay.
रेट्रोग्रेशन डज नॉट मेक अ डिफरेंस, है ना। प्लेनेट जो जेमिनी में है तो उसको इवेंचुअली कैंसर में ही जाना है ना।
Hmm.
जो रेट्रोग्रेशन है वो तो देखिए टेम्पररी है ना, 5 महीने का रेट्रोग्रेशन है।
Okay.
राइट, 5 राशि में सन रहेगा तब तक रेट्रोग्रेशन रहेगा, है ना। तो किसी भी प्लेनेट का मैक्सिमम रेट्रोग्रेशन 5 महीने का है ना। प्लेनेट अगर स्लो चलता है तो सन फास्ट चलता है, राइट। तो 5 महीने तक वो रेट्रोग्रेड रहेगा। इस 5 महीने के प्रोसेस में जुपिटर जेमिनी से निकल के टॉरस में जा सकता है, दैट इज ऑल ओके। बट इवेंचुअली तो उसने कैंसर ही पहुंचना है ना, वो तो अब उल्टी गति तो
Hmm.
नहीं शुरू कर लेगा। तो चाहे प्लेनेट रेट्रोग्रेड भी हो, फिर भी वो आगे ही जा रहा है, हम ऐसा मानेंगे, क्योंकि रेट्रोग्रेड तो टेम्पररी है।
Okay.
जी।
Okay.
फॉर अ
And
नॉर्मल पर्सन, except for Ramakrishna Paramahansa, for a normal person, a planet retrograde before in Ucchabhilashi, if the planet becomes retrograde, there are high chances that the person may not do the karmas that he should do. Right? Not taking the Jupiterian path here as an example. It is not happening with him because the Rashi Lord of Jupiter is powerful. So he is not distracted from the path. For some other person, if the planet is Ucchabhilashi but becomes retrograde before Ucchabhilashi, the planet eventually have to become exalted. But the result can come at the age of 60 also. And the person from the birth till the age of 60 can do many mistakes. Will the person do a lot of mistakes which will completely take away the opportunity or not? Should be seen with respect to house lord here, because the house lord is powerful. Jupiter is retrograde. Initially, he and others had a doubt that had he became mad and things like that. People had doubt. He also had doubt. Many people came and affirmed him that you are not mad. Whatever you are seeing, experiencing, etc., is for true, is truth. Right. So this doubt is coming because of retrogression. But you see, Rashi Lord is good. So he's not doing any such mistake which is problematic. Compare it to some other person who have a great spiritual potential in horoscope. Jupiter is Ucchabhilashi, but it is retrograde and the Rashi Lord goes into bad condition. Person gets spiritual experiences. Nathuram Godse, no? Nathuram Godse in childhood, when he was 4 5 years old, he can recite complete Bhagavad Gita without looking at book. Very brilliant child. But eventually what he did, killing Gandhi. वो भगवत गीता पाठ का कुछ अच्छा इस्तेमाल तो गोडसे कर नहीं पाया, बेचारे की जेल में मृत्यु हो गई। राइट। सो if the thing, right, the Bhagavad Gita, that he can completely, only from his memory he can recite complete Bhagavad Gita, uh, do it somewhere, right. But he was not able to use that potential. That potential was not being used because the Rashi Lord, if it is not good, person can go on a path from where there is no turning back. This is where the importance of consultation comes in, right. That if we can empathically and strongly tell the person to remain on the path, then great improvement will be there.
so one question, let's say this Jupiter Mahadasha comes.
Ji.
So how will we see that okay, this person will go to he's Ucchabhilashi and then he will reach there and he will not downfall? Like what is the maximum reach in the dasha for this planet? Should we see or should we not see, or it doesn't make any sense?
नहीं, उच्चाभिलाषी planet दशा, there is a path of progress financially and all sort of things,
Okay.
right. So this we have to predict. Standard
Yes.
Vimshottari, you will see he is born in a dasha of Ucchabhilashi Jupiter from 1833 to 1849 it is. So that's why right from the childhood he is having experiences. Say
Right.
this dasha is coming in between for a normal person, Ucchabhilashi Jupiter. In the dasha, there will be more and more of spiritual experiences, more and more of experiences related to the place where Jupiter wants to take them. If they realize it and take on the path, it is very good. Because you see, regarding good results, even you have done good karmas in the past life, even if you don't want money, God will give it to you. You do bad karmas in previous life, even if you don't want the result, you will get it. Regarding emancipation, God is not keen on distributing it. Our effort is needed. Normally, A planet is Ucchabhilashi for a normal person, profession, and in other areas, whatever the planet indicates. If it indicates Dhan Yogas, etc., Dhan Yogas it will give. And there is an improvement in the Dasha, throughout the Dasha, there is an improvement based approach that is there. Day by day, things are improving. If there is something specific, this is for Ucchabhilashi anywhere. So Jupiter after Capricorn, anywhere in the zodiac, it is Ucchabhilashi and the same result will come. But particularly when it is in Gemini, just one Rashi before extreme exaltation, in that Dasha Antardasha, great experiences it will give related to spirituality. If the person takes that, he will go on an altogether different path. If the person ignores it, then the Ucchabhilashi period will go. After that, also, there will be, throughout the life, there will be good improvements related to Jupiter, but that spiritual experience will not come again if the native ignores it. If they pick it up, then it will take them on the great path. But whether they pick it up or will they ignore it, that depends on the Rashi Lord. Because the condition is Rashi. So Rashi Lord is good, only then the favorable condition will retain, sustain. Otherwise, the favorable condition will not sustain if the Rashi Lord is not good. And Rashi Lord ही तो planet को power देगा ना. अब उसको power नहीं है तो बुझने वाले दिए के जैसा है ना, फड़फड़ा के थोड़ा जलने के बाद दिया बुझ जाएगा. लेकिन राशि लॉर्ड पावरफुल है तो वो दिए में बार बार घी डालता रहेगा. आप एक बार इग्नोर करोगे, दोबारा एक्सपीरियंस होगा, दो बार इग्नोर करोगे, तीसरी बार एक्सपीरियंस होगा, तीन बार इग्नोर करोगे, कोई गुरु ही आ जाएगा, उसको भी इग्नोर करोगे तो कोई और आ जाएगा, बार बार एक्सपीरियंस होता रहेगा. राशि लॉर्ड इज पावरफुल, इट विल गिव यू मल्टीपल चांसेस. से an exalted planet, you take sun exalted. Rashi lord is not powerful, you will get a chance for name him status. You take it, you become successful, otherwise not. If the Rashi lord is good, there is one chance of name him status, you don't take it, another chance will come, you don't take it, another chance will come. राइट. राशि लॉर्ड इज गुड तो लक्ष्मी बार बार दरवाजा खटखटाती रहती है. राशि लॉर्ड गुड है ना, अच्छा सस्टेनेंस रहता है. राशि लॉर्ड अच्छा नहीं है, एक बार मौका मिलता है, यू लूज इट, राइट. सो दिस वे.
Just in case, maybe maybe I need little more explanation. Let's say Jupiter debilitated. It is in Sagittarius, and it's a Capricorn ascendant. Now Jupiter Mahadasha comes. So how will we decode this? Like
नहीं,
whether
Sagittarius
by the
Jupiter,
end of the
Sagittarius
dasha.
Jupiter is good, and इसमें there will be no result. Neechabhilashi principle, only exception is Jupiter in Sagittarius, and that is not bad. Venus in
Oh,
Leo ले लेते है ना.
but Jupiter will be deep debilitated. Still, it is before the deep debilation part.
नहीं, because Sagittarius is own राशि up to 30 degrees
Oh, okay.
for Jupiter. तो own राशि, तो it is an exceptional rule, right? Because this Ucchabhilashi Neechabhilashi is applicable throughout the zodiac in all the, like leaving the two rashis aside, in 10 rashis it is applicable. Own rashis are only two. So being a more rare condition than Ucchabhilashi Neechabhilashi, Sagittarius is an exception for Jupiter. The same example if I take with respect to Virgo ascendant with Venus in 12th house in Leo, then it is going to be debilitated, right, in future. So in this dasha of this Venus, first of all, expenditure, etc., it will give because it is in 12th house. And now because it is Neechabhilashi, it is also taking on a downward path. So the person is doing expenditure, and day by day his income is also decreasing. So by the end of the dasha, person will do a lot of expenditure, expenditures will greatly increase and income will greatly decrease. By the end of the dasha, the condition will be very bad.
Okay.
देखो, उच्चाभिलाषी नीचाभिलाषी is a very favorite concept of mine related to karmic analysis. This I have never taught in any course related to karma, but you see, Parashar,
So by end of dasha, why Mercury cannot reach till Gemini?
by the
Maybe
end
वो
of,
jump करके निकल जाए तो.
by the end of,
By end of dasha, let's again the last example which you said, Mercury was tending towards debilation.
uh,
So in what condition it in that dasha itself it can reach to Gemini in its own rashi? Maybe he went through deep debilation and then again he improved. So for that we will see the Lord.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Lord will, like situations, Lord decides the situation, right? So if Lord is in a good condition, it's always saving grace. Any planet in any Rashi, anywhere, if Lord supports it, supports the planet, it never gives the bad result. So Lord is supportive, then saving grace will be there. So a planet which is Neechabhilashi, But the lord of the Rashi is, you say, Venus going into Leo with Sun. It is Neechabhilashi. It will take you to very lowest point, but recovery will be made. So it will take you to the lowest point. There will be a lot of suffering, but then Sun will come in. He will recover. Will give another chance. Though karmically it will be full haphazard. There will be no perfection related to the planet. Life will start in the mid of life. You do the greatest mistake. By the end of the life, you improve. So you start at place one, and in the end of life, you are also at the place one. In between, there have been a journey which was going on the downward path. Downward is at the 50, and then on the upward path, and eventually you get at the same place. But at the end of the life, you start from the same place, right? When the Rashi Lord is good, it makes this, right? So it takes you down and then takes you up again, right? But the problem with Neechabhilashi is it was not an improvement based progress. In the Ucchabhilashi, it was, improvement can always be there. No improvement, remaining on the same condition is also a loss, right? Loss of a human life. So, 10, 15 more lives are needed for emancipation now. So, more or less a loss only. Okay. So this you do Ucchabhilashi, Neechabhilashi. I love this principle because of, Ucchabhilashi, Neechabhilashi, the more you use, better insights it will give to you. This Ucchabhilashi, Neechabhilashi I taught for the first time, right? And अब तो सबको आ गया है, बहुत अच्छी बात है। अब मैंने नई बात आपको बता दी है, ये अभी सिर्फ आपको पता है, 3-4 साल में सबको आ जाएगा, कोई बात नहीं है, तब कोई और नई बात बता देंगे, ठीक है ना? दिस इज तो research is point is, like, as everyone who knows me, they always say like, Jyotish, you tell me a topic. If you even tell me, sir, only Ucchabhilashi, Neechabhilashi, you teach me for 1 year every day 2 hour, I can do that, right? I will not introduce a new topic to you. I can only do that, right? That is all okay. So we use it. And next class we start with the moon section.